Today, I'm going to be working with the I Want Candy collection from Close to My Heart. These are a couple of layouts that I've made already following the directions provided by Close to My Heart. And today I'm going to make a third layout, and instead of doing the Halloween theme, I'm going to use the I Want candy part of it to create this third layout. So I am following the directions, but I'm going to tweak it slightly. I kind of took what was left over and just used the sizes that were left over from cutting the previous two, and just, kind of tweaked it a little bit to use my paper and, not waste, save some more for other projects. And instead of using the Halloween side of that paper, I'm going to flip it over and use that sapphire gingham paper, which I think is just super cute. And then that way I don't have anything Halloween on this page. The directions for this are on my website at kitty.closetomyheart.com. If you go to promotions and then you go to I Want Candy and then you click on the scrapbooking kits, you'll see there are two separate sets of directions. One with this candy themed stamp set and thin cuts, and then another with a Halloween themed stamp set and thin cuts. And so this is actually a design from the Halloween themed one, but I chose to switch it up and create a candy themed layout. So I did change up the sizes a little bit, and I happened to see another consultant's take on this layout, Bonnie Tullo. I think it's Tullo, but I don't know how to pronounce it. And she used this clover green for backing her photos, and I really liked that because I thought it just really popped and pulled out that green in the paper collection, and I really liked that. Now, our cardstock does have a light and a dark side, so you have to make sure you're paying attention so you don't do, one thing with the dark side and one thing with the light side. But here I chose to use the light side of that clover green, and just see there I've magically off camera did the matting for all the photos. Now I've grabbed the stamp set. I'm going to flip my Versa mat over. The other side has this soft foamy back, which makes stamping really easy. I have used the die cuts, or the thin cuts we call them, but they're metal die cuts, and cut out just a whole bunch of icons. I like to do that, so I just have a lot to work with, and then as I'm putting my projects together, I just have a lot of options. So you'll see me, I'm using my Memento ink that we used to sell. Close to My Heart used to sell this ink, and I don't believe we do anymore, but I have a studio, a craft studio, which is across the street from me. And so half my supplies are always at the paper station and half at home. And so sometimes I'm just working with what I have in front of me. So this is my Memento ink. Close to My Heart also carries archival ink, which is a lot like this Memento. It's a very, very dark, rich black. And then we also have Intense ink, which is a lighter, but both of those are good for coloring in with alcohol markers or watercolors. Anything wet or shimmer brushes would be pretty with this. And then we have our regular black, which is available right now, but I don't know that they will be carrying that forward, is at least what they've told us as of right now, which I don't understand why, because I love our regular black ink, but I don't get to make the decision, so. The intense black, the regular black, the archival black, and then I'm using Memento black. So lots of blacks to choose from, but I do like a nice crisp black sometimes, and then other times the softer black with the intense one is nice too. So once I've got those all done, I'm going to color them in, and I am using our Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend markers, and I've chosen an earth brown blend for the chocolate, and then I just grabbed a bunch of different colors that I thought complemented. I did an aqua blue blend, and the citrus blend, and the pale pink blend, and the dusty purple blend. I think Oh, and a green. Let's see, what green did I use? I used the Alpine Green blend. So all of those kind of help to make these pieces of candy match, and I was really happy with how they turn out. I did a darker brown in the center, which I guess I could have gone either way. I could have done the darker in the background and the lighter up front, or I mean for the little squares. Honestly, I've seen some people do coloring with alcohol markers that's just absolutely amazing. Um, this, because it's this candy and it's kind of, I don't know if I would say like cartoonish, but I didn't feel like it needed to be, really, what am I trying to say? Like realistic, I guess, because these images are just very cartoony, and so I didn't feel like I needed to do a lot of shading or special coloring. I just kind of filled it in with the colors. I did do a little bit here and there, but so I'm going to speed things up a little bit for you here. And just as I'm coloring these in, I have also seen these stamped on different colored cardstock and then paper pieced, where you stamp them on brown, stamp them on pink, stamp them on blue, the glacier or whatever colors you want. And then you cut out the individual, like you'd cut out this part that I'm coloring and then glue that down on top, and then cut out the little flap in a little bit of a darker color and then glue that down, and then cut out the brown and glue that down. And that looks really pretty too. It's just a little more time consuming. It just depends on the look that you want and how much time you want to give to your project. But I actually find coloring in with the markers to be very relaxing, and I don't mind it. And I actually do enjoy watching other people color. I don't know why, it's kind of mesmerizing. So yeah, so these were cute because the little gumballs in the little treat bags there, and they're just fun colors to work with. I don't know if you have noticed at um, Michael's or TJ Maxx, or if you've been out and about to any of the different stores, that you do see these colors right now for Halloween: pink pumpkins and floral pumpkins, which it's different and kind of pretty. And so I think, I don't know if you've got all boys, maybe it doesn't work as well, but I know over the years I have had girls in fairy costumes or princesses or mermaids or whatever, and a lot of times their costumes do have a lot of these kinds of colors in them. So doing Halloween layouts all in black and orange and purple, you know is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's been years where they're mummies or witches, but these colors really work well for several years of my kids' costumes. And I'm so far behind in my scrapbooking that I can go back. My kids are in their 20s, all of them right now, and I still have lots of Halloween layout to create because I am nowhere near done. I started out doing individual books for all three of my kids. So for every event, I was doing three different layouts for Halloween, one for Anna, one for Sarah, one for Jack. So that's a lot of scrapbooking, and I know sometimes I think, oh, what have I done? But you know what? That's okay. It keeps my hobby going strong because I have lots to do. So that's okay. Every time I pull out those pictures, they just make me happy. So, all right. So I've finished up my coloring, and now I'm going to start to go to that sticker sheet. And I decided, since all my photos were matted in that clover green, that I would go ahead and mat this journaling spot in that same green. And then going to the sticker sheet, I am going to use some of these little triangle flags up in that left corner, just trying to choose which colors, wanting to bring that sapphire in and just kind of keep it bright and fun. So we're adding those up in that corner. And I could have popped these up, but I chose not to. I'm going to use some of those little puffy stickers that are just so completely adorable. I'm totally in love with these little puffy stickers that come with this kit. And so you'll see me use those in in between the little flags. And so I like that. The stickers usually give you just a second if you put them down like really lightly, like just kind of set them there. You can kind of fuss with them a little bit. And then, oh, I forgot, I use the stickers. I use the stickers in between those. There's these little colored, look like little pieces of hard candy or something. And so those get used. I was thinking I did puffy stickers there, but I guess not. And then I'll give them a press, and then they're kind of stuck, and it would be hard to get them pulled up. I'm going to use a couple of these little dovetailed flags kind of upside down to just give a little bit of interest in that spot and tuck them behind that 4x4 photo. I thought about doing a 4x6 there, but I left it as is. And then here's some of my colored pieces of candy. I'm going to pull those in and add them just kind of as a, I don't know, like a smattering around the edge of the photos. I always find the placement of all the little, stickers or embellishments to be, I don't want to say the hardest because it is fun, but I do tend to second guess myself, put it down, change my mind. It's a little bit of a process, but that's okay. It's also kind of what's fun as you kind of move things around. And, I think nice clusters of things are always make a big difference in how the project ends up looking. So I grabbed my 3D foam tape. This is from Close to My Heart. It is actually my favorite ever 3D foam tape. I do sometimes use a fun foam on my cards just because, all of our supplies are, pricey. It's an investment, and so if it's on a card, it doesn't necessarily have to be archival, and so I'll just use something cheap and easy. But on my layouts, I like to stick with the Close to My Heart brand, and oh my gosh, it cuts like a dream. It's just so easy to use. I love the Close to My Heart 3D foam tape. It comes in thin and regular. Here I'm using the regular, so it's a little thicker, but sometimes I like the thin, so I use both. I also grabbed the well, it's not brand new. Close to My Heart has always had a tape runner made by Close to My Heart, and I've never used it because it never had the refills. And they just this year, with the release of the newest catalog, have refills for them now. So, I mean, just environmentally speaking, or just cost-wise, I couldn't stand throwing that plastic case away every time it ran out. So this is the first time I've really used the Close to My Heart branded tape runner, and I have to say, so far, I am really liking it. It does give you, it's kind of dotted, but not as much as the Tombow Mono one, the Air Touch. I love that one too. But this one is super smooth, and it gives you a second to reposition things before it's permanent. I also love our anti-static pouch. So sometimes I'll take the stickiness off of a sticker that I know I'm adding foam adhesive to. That just makes it a little bit easier to work with, and I can move it around and kind of see where I want it before I have to commit to where I'm putting it. So I grabbed that little sticker, and I'm just going to make a little cluster over here. These little candy pieces are just so darling. You could probably also color them in with a colored pencil. I just kind of wanted the vibrancy that the alcohol markers give you. So I'm just positioning them before I put down that foam, because once you take the backing off your foam adhesive and put it down, you usually don't have too much, it's down, it's there. That's where it's staying. So and then I'm going to come to these, I love these little foam, not foam, they're little puffy stickers. Oh my gosh, I love them. They're just so darling, and there's just something about that. They're kind of rubbery or something. I don't know how to describe them, but I love them. So they make me happy. So I'm going to go ahead and add several of these. Some of them look like little pieces of hard candy. Some look like there's cupcakes, there's stars, just little dots. So they're just really cute. I jumped forward here a little bit. I messed around and messed around and messed around trying to figure out like a little third cluster over here, or not third, what would that be? I don't know how many numbers, how many clusters I have, but I ended up deciding to add that it says chocolate obsessed, which I don't know what pictures I'm going to use with this, but I think anytime I could consider myself chocolate obsessed, so that's okay. That'll work. Um, and we do have a really great candy shop here in Richmond called Anderson's, and they have really good candy, really good chocolate. So there you have it. That completes this layout. I was happy with how it turned out, loving all those little tiny candies and just the fun bright colors. So let me know if you have any questions, if I can help you with anything, and I hope you have a great day. And until next time, happy crafting.